everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, and we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left. Yeah.
Good evening, welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We're going to try to make it better for you tonight. Tonight we welcome Porcelan. She is a singer-songwriter. She's a brand new single called Act Out. It's coming on her upcoming album, Mood Ring. It'll be on her upcoming album. Then hip-hop recording artist Cap joins us. He has new music coming out within the next month. Very excited to talk to both of them. Very talented artists. Then, of course, we're talking about everything that's going on in this crazy world between the pandemic and the recent murder of an unarmed black man by police here in Atlanta. Attorney Mel Davis joins us for the discussion. She comes back and joins us. Always excited to have her back on the show. I want to remind you we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, our official website. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel. While we do the show, you can watch us, The Stephen Knight Show. When we come back, the question of the day and hot topics right back after this.
Talking? What's good? What's good? Just chilling. Let it go. These cars be on patrol, that's why I'm riding slow. Yeah, cause I got some loud to blow. I got some loud to blow. Motherfucker, I'm getting it. Got no time for no worries, motherfucker. I'm getting it. Got my mind on my money, motherfucker. I'm getting it. 100 grand in my pocket, motherfucker. I'm getting it. Yep. And it's good. Riding while I'm getting it, it's always good. Riding while I'm getting it, it's always good. It's always good. Riding while I'm getting it, it's always good. Yeah, Collins Avenue. Soft Beach cruising, yeah. Long nights with the crew. And we ain't never losing, yeah. Do what I love to do. Keeping it moving, yeah. Feeling real comfortable. But you never catch me snoozing. Never go Hollywood. Get love in every hood. Did what I said I would, hope that it's understood. Oh yeah, we'll be forever good. Motherfucker, I'm getting it. Got no time for no worries, motherfucker. I'm getting it. Got my mind on my money, motherfucker. I'm getting it. 100 grand in my pocket, motherfucker. I'm getting it. And it's good. Riding while I'm getting it, it's always good. It's good. Riding while I'm getting it, it's always good. It's good. Riding while I'm getting it, it's always good.
Ever since I was a youngin', I knew I see the day I be out here getting it good, but never forgetting where I came from. When I go back to the hood, they be screaming she the one. Best believe I'll be the one. Just look how far I've come. I be stunting for fun. Remember them days I was up in my room counting ones, but them ones turn to 20s, 20s turn to 50s. Those 50s turn to hundreds, motherfucker. I'm getting big, getting big, getting big. Got no time for no worries, motherfucker. I'm getting big, getting big, getting big. Got my mind on my money, motherfucker. I'm getting big, getting big. Oh, 100 grand in my pocket, motherfucker. I'm getting big, getting big, getting big. And it's good, good. So I'm getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it. Oh, I'm getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it. Oh, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it. Oh, I'm getting it, getting it, getting it, getting it. And it's good, good.
Moving, girl, I wanna talk to you. You drive me crazy. Just let me know what else I can do to comfort you. What you drinking? Patron shots all around. What I'm thinking now, what I'm thinking, damn sinking. One shot ain't gon' hurt you, so I told her wait, I'll bring more rounds. Patron, girl, I heard you. Keep taking shots till we fall out. They don't deserve you. Keep your flight, we can ball out. I'll be the first to show you what good vibes is all. I can't wait to get you home. Keep on pouring shots of Patron, Patron, whatever. Bartender, bring me more. Patron, whatever. We'll pass out on the floor. Patron. Some flicks, you can sit with the stars. They know what we sip when we get to the bar. She wanna dance it wine like she won't live tomorrow. Girl, when I'm with you, we living life with no care now. Girl, it won't hurt you. Hop in the ride, let your head down. You got some nerve to be looking so good, girl, you stand out. I see the thirst too, but those other guys can't compare. I can't wait to you home. Keep on pouring shots of Patron, Patron, whatever. Bartender, bring me more. Patron, whatever. We'll pass out on the floor. Patron, whatever. Patron, whatever. You can take a trip to the big homie yard. When we get to the bar, you could take a trip, you could take a trip, you could take a trip to the big old yard. They know what we sip, they know what we sip, they know what we sip when we get to the bar. You can't take me out. They know what we are. You could take a trip, you could take a trip to the big old yard. They know what we sip, they know what we sip, they know what we sip when we get to the bar. Patron, whatever. Bartender, bring me more.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you that if you're listening to us on our podcast, you can also watch us on our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, of course, our official website, StephenKnightShow.com. All right, so Miss Parker, I know it was a crazy weekend again. We're going to talk about Mr. Brooks, who was murdered on Friday. But other than that, how was your weekend?
I think, in the last couple of weeks, you've asked me, and my answer's been the same. We're all just getting through it. I think I'm continuing to find ways to, use my energy and a little bit of anxiety, honestly, that I've been feeling with all of this going on to be productive and use it in productive ways. So my friends and I started a project called the Love Project 404, where we'll be billing out dads that are in jail and just simply can't get out because they can't afford jail bill money, which is sometimes $300-400. So we'll be doing that this Friday. We've put in the paperwork to do so for about 10, and then we're waiting to vet out the other few that qualify for the assistance. So we're going to be doing different things and taking on different projects and things within the community to make social changes. I think if I myself can use my energy in a positive way to make changes, I think that I will be able to get through these dark days a lot better. So that's kind of what I'm focused on. But so far, this weekend, actually, with Mr. Brooks being killed on Friday, I went out to dinner on Saturday, and right after we left dinner, we were getting on the freeway was when, the rioting and protesting started with the fire at the fast food restaurant that he was killed at. So we almost didn't make it out of the traffic that was there. But I think for the most part, it looked peaceful when we saw the people around. No one was, doing anything illegal. And the fire didn't seem to have been started by one of us or one of the protesters. So, that's what came out with the videos that was found with the person who set the fire.
Mm-hmm. And they have a $10,000 reward if they can find a woman that supposedly set that fire.
Mm-hmm.
Chike, what about you? How was the weekend?
Weekend was work filled, my friend. In the medical community, we're back full swing. They're acting as if COVID is not a thing right now, which I don't understand.
Neither.
We clearly have cases that are COVID, and everyone knows this, but they're back full swing. We're making our money back. That's what they're focused on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I put a post on Facebook. Did the pandemic go away and someone got to tell me? Because I'm looking on my Facebook, my timeline. People are out there like it is normal life. I said,
yep.
Okay. What about you, Naya? Well, obviously, congratulations are in order to you.
Congratulations.
You got some big news.
Thank you.
Tell us the big news.
Yeah, I'm getting married.
Congratulations.
That's good.
That's
That's
dope.
good news.
I'm gonna be getting married, thanks to my mom's prayers, But yeah, no, that's actually what the weekend was about. It was some more planning. We've been planning for a while, but planning and getting those photos. We're really trying to get those photos turned around so that we can hit people with the save the dates so everyone can make their plans and so forth. You all actually are invited. Whether, if you can come, I'm definitely hoping to see you guys there. It's in Seattle.
Okay.
And it's in December. So
December in Seattle, huh?
yeah, right. Yeah, it'll be there. So if you guys can make it, definitely, you'll get your invites. But I would love to have my family there with me.
Most definitely. Congratulations once again.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Well, my weekend, I don't watch the news on the weekends typically, but I've had a couple friends over the weekend, socially distanced, and so I had the TV on just as background noise, and that's when I saw the murder of Mr. Brooks, and I had to turn TV off. It's just like, I don't know, my anxiety is definitely high, and so like today I was just drained. So on Mondays I have to watch a bunch of news to catch up with everything that's going on, so we can talk about it on the show. But It's crazy. But I do want to say something real quick.
I actually didn't even know about it until you all mentioned it. I didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I wanted to mention something last week. I was saying how upset I was that my company had not said anything about the protest and the racial divide in this country. And I said I was going to say something. And so last Tuesday was my first day back in the office, which we're still not going in often. I work from home a lot anyway, but she just wanted us to do a check-in. And I said I was going to say anything, and I didn't. I felt like everybody was kikiing, laughing, and da-da-da-da. And I was just sitting there like this the whole time. And I was in my office. The only time I wasn't in my office unless I was at a meeting. And my boss looked at me and asked me, because they had birthday cake and all this stuff, are you okay? Because your eyes look puffy. I said, well, it's probably because the mask I have on. And so,
Can't breathe.
and so, anyway, so I came home. I was fortunately got off early. I came home and I was watching this I was watching the special that CBS News had with Gayle King. And next thing I knew, I pulled up my phone and I sent her an email letting her know. I said, I don't know if this is on you pretty much, but pretty much I told her, as a black man for this company going on 6 years, I feel slighted that nothing has been said that's going on a national stage is happening worldwide. And I said, we have a lot of black consultants who represent our company. And I know I'm not the only one that feels slighted by nothing going out. At least I said, in my opinion, being silent is complicit pretty much. Although I spelled complicit wrong. So I said it to Ms. Parker. She said, you spelled it wrong. Anyway, so she wrote back the next morning. She said, Stephen, I hear you, and I will talk to leadership. And then she called me maybe about 20 minutes later, and she told me that she had talked to the owner. He called her, and that he said that he had been very outspoken on his social media, but he agreed something needed to go out. And you know, she was telling me why she hadn't said anything. She hadn't really talked to me about it, whatnot, whatever. But I will say my owner called me afterwards, and he said again that he's an Indian gentleman, and he said that he experienced racism in this country as well. And although it's not the same, he is definitely outspoken about it. He's made several posts on his social media. He said, Black lives do matter. He said, all lives matter, but we're talking about Black lives matter, Black lives right now. And he said, and I definitely support, and if you ever feel, you know, slighted in the future, please reach out to me directly. So I appreciate that. And then they sent out a message on Friday to everyone. So.
You said you misspoke a little bit. Let me just correct you a little bit. You said your owner. You meant the owner of your company.
Yeah, the owner of the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I just I
got you.
We're talking about.
right. Owner. But yeah.
Nobody around here had no owners.
Right. Exactly. So shout out to them for saying something and make it right and wrong. So I wanted to share that. All right. So our question. Yeah. Thank you. I felt really good. I did. At first, Ms. Parker had called me and asked me, did I say anything? And I said, no. She said, I'm kind of disappointed, but I guess people have to do what they feel.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but I know you're not a person who, you're not like me. You don't like confrontation. Like that would have been something I did when I walked in, but,
right.
But I got it. You know, I mean, I figure you would do it in your own timing. You tend to come around to things on your own timing. So, but I am very proud of you.
Thank you. All right. So our question of the day: how are you staying sane throughout the pandemic and racial divide, Ms. Parker?
I think I shared this with you guys. You know, when COVID first started, that I've developed a self-care routine daily. So it definitely helps. I wake up, meditate, go for a run, work out, do yoga. Although my schedule has changed a little bit because I've taken on a few projects at work. I was a little bit annoyed because I was like, oh, it's messing up with my routine. I haven't really been working, but didn't really have much to do.
Right.
So much of my day was taken up by my self-care stuff and personal things. And then now that I have to get back to work, it was a bit of an annoyance that I have to adjust my schedule. Mm-hmm. But regardless of what time I do it, like today, I couldn't do all of it at once. So I meditated and I jumped on a call. Then I went for a run, worked out, jumped on another call, then I did yoga. So it moved around a bit, but I kept those things in place because they bring me a bit of peace. But of lately, I know that you are not a fan of people socializing, but of lately what's brought me a lot of joy and kind of some peace is I am a person who is, my love language is quality time. So I've gotten to hang out with a few friends. A couple of weeks ago or a week ago, a couple of friends came by, and then I went to dinner with 2 friends on Thursday. There were 4 tables on the patio of our favorite restaurant, Tuk Tuk. So we sat there and ate. It felt amazing to just be out. The weather was beautiful. We sat outside. But those things has definitely been keeping me sane up as of lately, being around people that I love, because that's typically what keeps me going anyway. It's my love language. So that's my routine.
Yeah. And it's not that I'm not a fan of people socializing. I think that some people, like, I was looking on social media, and a mutual friend of ours, all out the bars, about 10, 12 people, not a mask in sight, stuff like that. I think when people are being irresponsible with it, that's what I have a problem with. But
I totally agree.
But I agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I saw people, I know a friend of mine owned a couple of clubs, or owner of a couple of clubs out here. And I watched the stories, and it's like regular time.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially Atlanta. It's probably, 200 people in there, and they're just partying, like not a mask inside, nothing inside. I mean, at that point, 200 people are having a mask. I don't think it's going to help, but it's back to normal. And even when we were driving through Edgewood, and Edgewood is a very popular area in Atlanta, I think most of everybody on the call may be familiar with it. We drove through Edgewood right before the protesting started, and I don't think these people were part of the protesting crowd, because the crowd was a bit further up. It was packed. We tried to go to a rooftop restaurant 6 feet under, and there was a 3 hours wait for their patio. Yeah. But not only that, the streets themselves, like the parking lot, it felt like a club out there. People had music out there in the parking lots, different parking lots. The whole area was just really crowded, and people were just out and about. And they're, younger kids. So I kind of figured they'd probably been tired of sitting at home. But, I think what doesn't help is to mix information. I think, if people knew exactly what was going on, they can make better decisions. But when you're young and you're already in that mindset of, I don't know what's going on anyways, I'm going to just live my life, and you're not getting consistent information, even myself, it's frustrating. So I think that's a part of it too. But just to really quickly, even the grocery stores seem to be going back to normal. As Chike was saying, things seem to be going back to normal. I went to one of the grocery stores today, and normally they have the person out there doing the carts and spraying things down. Mm-hmm. Nope, they're back to the carts being placed, and where you go get it yourself, and then you go grocery shopping. There's more, COVID cleaning going on. So that was interesting as well.
Yeah, no, I get that. What about you, Chike? How are you staying sane through all this? And you're on the front line, so what's working for you?
To be honest, Amazon has become my best friend. I'm getting like 3 and 4 and 5 packages a day because I've been shopping, and that's how I'm handling my anxiety. That and getting physically fit. I'll probably be like Mr. Olympian when this is all over with. So that's me.
I hear that.
Next month though, I am going to break down and see my family. Preliminary elections start next month. And I have to be around my family for that. So
yeah, well, that's good. That'll be good to see them. What about you, Nair?
Spending a lot of time with friends on Zoom. With friends on Zoom. We have found nearly any and everything you can do through Zoom. We having battles and talking about college times and high school times and playing games and any and everything you can think of. We done it, and we probably gonna do it. I've been spending time I have not been spending with friends in years.
Yeah.
I'm talking the range of friends, from high school to post-university.
Yeah.
Usually you kind of revolve around the same handful of friends throughout your important times of your life. But man, I've been able to check in with everyone. So that's really been doing good for me.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I've been talking to people I hadn't talked to in years. I talked to someone on Saturday I hadn't talked to in a very long time. But for me, I think it is like even going out listening to music, like, you know, if I take a walk on a nice day, or you know, prayer, obviously for me, meditation, a cocktail. But I try to do stuff too, and I'm very busy with the show. I'm always doing interviews and preparing for those, so that keeps busy, and you know. But yeah, tweet us at home. Let us know how are you staying sane throughout the pandemic and racial divide. All right, real quick before we go to break, coronavirus update. Worldwide, we are almost at 8 million cases with over 434,000 deaths. That's worldwide. In the United States, we surpassed 2 million cases, and we're at 116,000 plus deaths. Now, they're expecting it to be 170 deaths by October. They're saying the second wave will probably hit in the fall. The numbers have gone up in many states, at least 20 states, and that's since Memorial Day. They don't know yet how the protests will affect the numbers, but you know, obviously they're nervous about all that. And then they have several NFL players in Texas. Texas is seeing a spike. They play for the Texans and the Cowboys who have tested positive. They haven't released the names of them just due to privacy laws, but they're trying to figure out if they're going to be able to start, start football back up. So what do you?
Chike, something really quick.
Yeah.
Chike, are you seeing a lot of reinfections in people who actually survive? Are they seeing a lot of that?
Surviving? Yeah, a lot of survival of the virus. I can't speak to the reinfection, but definitely a lot of surviving.
Yeah,
a lot of surviving.
I had a friend that thinks he had it back in January. He said his dad got really sick and was having like respiratory issues, and he had visited his dad, and then he went on a trip like end of January with a group of friends, and he got a real bad case of pink eye, and another friend that was on the trip got really sick too, and he looked it up. Pink eye was one of the symptoms, but you know, he wasn't hospitalized or anything, and he, you know, but he thinks he had it, and he thinks his dad had it as well. So. Same
here. I think that I've had it like at the end of February going into March. Really? I got really, really ill, and it was ill unlike I've been ill in a long time, to the point where I was weak. And if anyone knows me, even when I'm down, I'm still moving. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, attorney Melanie Davis is back to talk about the Rayshard Brooks situation. Right back after this.
Alone, no interruptions from the phone. You got my body feeling eager, dripping like I got a fever. No distractions will occur, 'cause you know what I prefer. Those famous 3 letters. Ooh, you and I gon' do it right. Ooh, you and I, what else gon' do tonight? We don't get it in, 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 get it in. Hey, we're gonna do it over and over. I'll have your legs within my shoulder. Hey, babe, you are the business. So let the neighbors witness how we put it down like this. gonna be you and I for the rest of our lives. Those simple three letters go so ham together.
Tripped away, yeah. I really want to, yeah.
my car.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. So sadly, many of us found out on Friday that a video footage was released of Rashad Brooks. He had fallen asleep in his car in the Wendy's drive-thru, here in Atlanta, and employees of Wendy's called the police, and they stopped him. When I stopped, they woke him up and thought he may have been under the influence. So they asked him to move his car from the drive-through and pull over into the thing, which he did. And then they asked him to step out the car. They gave him a field sobriety test. They had him for 20 minutes, and he was being very compliant. He told them that his sister lived right down the street. His daughters were there. He'd been celebrating one of his child's birthday or something like that. And he asked if he could just walk home. And so they tried to arrest him. It turned to a scuffle. He actually outpowered both of them, and they had pulled out the taser to tase them. He actually grabbed one of the tasers and took off running, turned around and tried to shoot the taser at them. And one of the police officers shot at him 3 times, strike him in the butt and in the back, and he died. So the police officer, the one that killed him, was Devin Brosman, and he wasn't the one. He was the one of the other officers, and he was placed on administrative duty. And the officer who killed him was Garrett Rolfe, was immediate fired. Also, the district attorney, Paul Howard, confirmed that there will be a decision to charge Rolfe by Wednesday of this week. The Atlanta police chief, Erica Shields, she resigned immediately after Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, she called for the termination of Garrett Rolfe. So that all happened. Today, the mayor released new rules and guidelines for the police to follow. We have Attorney Melanie Davis, back with us. Welcome back, Melanie. What can you tell us about this situation?
Like I stated in my previous presence on your podcast, Paul Howard was my former boss. I was an assistant district attorney in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. So if a charging decision is to come out on Wednesday or by Wednesday, so that means it could even come out tomorrow, it would likely be felony murder, because felony murder is a murder that occurs during the commission of an underlying felony. So it could, in this case, aggravated assault, which is the firing of the weapon that caused the bodily harm and eventually causes death. So I do believe that there's evidence of that, but it's going to be an interesting case for several reasons. So I guess 2-3 weeks ago, Paul Howard charged 6 police officers with aggravated assault for pulling out 2 college students and tasing them, and stating that a taser is a deadly weapon. And I did a little research because I wasn't sure if a taser was a deadly weapon or not. And it can be if you have like pre-existing like heart conditions, you can have a heart attack, and they often malfunction and misfire. But let's get back to the actual encounter. So he's in the drive-through, sleep, does the sobriety test, fails. I think he blew a .108, so a little over the legal limit, which is .02. Got into the fight. I read articles. I mean, I watched the video, but obviously there's the surveillance video, all the different videos. But I read an article. I think it was in the New Yorker, or one of the so many news sources, but that thoroughly looked at all the videos, and one of them said that Mr. Brooks punched Rolfe. And so I don't know if anybody talked about that, but at that point he had already taken the taser from the other guy, and so he had it in his hand. He punched Rolfe and then ran away, turns around, shoots it, doesn't reach him, and then turns around again. And so since you can only shoot that taser one time, are you really in the reasonable fear that you are going to be that you're going to suffer imminent bodily injury or death if the taser's already been fired and he missed and he's running away? And so I even looked at and this is prior to Mayor Bottom's revision of the Atlanta Police Policy Guidelines, but I read the policy on the use of excessive force when the person is escaping. So the officer had every right to give chase, but you can't use deadly force on an escapee unless that person is an imminent threat to or danger to the community, meaning that he has a gun and can shoot more people with it. But if you have someone running away with a taser, then you shooting them in the back is not justified. And I even read a report that said after Rolf shot him, he said, "I got him."
I got him. Yep. I saw
he
that.
He said,
too.
"I got him."
Yep.
Like he was like a deer. Or I mean, like just like an animal.
Yep.
Like it was a game. Because I mean, I think honestly he was embarrassed. Like it took two of them and he still out-muscled them, outmatched them, outran them.
Mm-hmm.
Outran them. So he had to shoot because he couldn't overtake him, and he got in a punch. I don't know where he punched him, but he got in the lick before he ran off. So can you imagine Rolf was probably pissed. He said, "Well, I'm gonna get this N-word."
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, and the thing was, they had his car, they had his ID because when they pulled him over, he showed them his ID, so they knew where he lived. Mm-hmm. And there are ways they could have gotten him. He didn't, like you said, he didn't have like a weapon on him.
Right.
And when I was watching another special, he used to be a former police officer. I forgot what exactly he does now, but he's been on CNN a lot lately dealing with all the protests and whatnot. And he said, I just went blank. I'm sorry. But he's been on there.
It's all mentally exhausting.
It is.
Like, I'm exhausted.
It is. I mean, because it's like we've been having protests for 3 weeks, and you have the audacity to shoot another black man. You know what I mean? He was saying, I'm sorry. He was saying that the police officer could have hurt other people by shooting into a parking lot like that. That's what he was saying. But go ahead, Ms. Parker, I'm sorry.
And no, I agree with Mel. I think it was a lot of ego involved. I think his ego was bruised that he weren't able to apprehend Mr. Brooks. Mm-hmm. And Rashad, I think that he was upset that he was overpowered. And you know, I was reading an opinion piece about why Rashad may have reacted the way he did. We're not safe in police officers' presence. Right, exactly. We're not safe in their custody.
Yeah.
Black men are not, black people, period, are not safe getting into the car and just going for a ride up to the station. Like it's not something that that is just like a routine thing for us. You know, it's traumatizing. There are things that we've already experienced that may cause us to react the way we do. It's not just, we're out here just refusing to do what the police says, but we are treated differently. I'm going to give you an example. I saw a video, I wish I can find it again and repost a video of a guy that I have actually two videos that I can remember. One was a white gentleman who had a machete or something in his hands, and there were like 4 police officers, and he was literally going at them. Mm-hmm. Got taken in with not a scratch on him. I saw one with a guy waving a gun. He was literally waving his gun, going like this, and they stood there and said, "Put the gun down," and got him without shooting him. There are situations that I've seen that anyone in their right mind would have been afraid that they may have been killed. And I know the police officers, if that person was black, would for a second would not have hesitated to kill those people.
Well, even the guy who shot up the church in South Carolina, they took him to Burger King after they apprehended him. On the way to police officers, they took him to Burger King.
Right, and the fact that he told them that he could walk home, it could have been easily resolved. You know what I mean, I think that a lot of times when these police officers need to be retrained for sure. You show up on the scene where a man is sleeping in his car. Obviously, okay, he's been drinking. He's not in a condition to drive home. This could have been turned around where they could have offered him. Well, my sister lived down the street. Could get in the car. We're going to take you to your sister's house. Yeah. We'll give you a citation. We'll give you a ticket or whatever it may be. It could have been so easily resolved. You know what I mean? So easily if we would just looked at as people instead of criminal, because he was already criminalized, and that's why those things weren't offered to him, right? Yep. But if we had just been looked at as a person, a situation that needs help, it could have been easily resolved. But because when they showed up and already had a mindset that he was a criminal. He was already criminalized by the color of his skin. That option wasn't something that they felt was available to them.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a question for Mallory.
He told them that he, like, his sister lived like nearby. He even requested to park his car and walk.
Yeah.
He said, "Can I just go to my sister's house?" I mean, they could have gave him, they could have impounded the car or let it stay overnight. I think that's the Wendy's in the West End, right?
Yeah.
Like by the West End Mall.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's just, it could have been handled much more differently. I just
much more human, like with some compassion. You know, like it just, I don't know how it escalated from somebody sleeping in their car to him being arrested. I just don't get that.
I fall asleep in my car. Thank God I didn't fall asleep in the Wendy's driveway though. But
right.
I have fallen asleep in my car after a night of drinking and just sobered up and drove home after I slept it off. But if someone was to, but like my car wasn't running, but if someone was to find me sleeping in my car, I mean, that's not a crime to sleep in your car. But I just think that, we're not given the benefit of the doubt. We're not given compassion. And it's just unfortunate. And I think, you know, it's funny that the police chief stepped down. I mean, is that like in solidarity or because I guess
I was confused. Well, they said a lot of police officers, they said about 14 police officers have quit since in the last 10 days since the protest. Some people have done it.
Black people anymore.
Right.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
We're gonna get.
Well, I think she quit because she was on the news a couple of weeks earlier or a week earlier during the protest when the protest first started, stating that she felt like Keisha Lansbottom was being hard on the police, especially when those two officers were charged, being hard on the police out of political reasons. So she felt like this whole thing is politicized, and that especially in Atlanta, that Keisha Lansbottom has a political agenda to be hard on police officers.
I read that. I
think what it is I think she really do believe that whatever the police does is justified. And so because she can't no longer operate in that mode, she no longer wants to do the job, and that's fine. She needs to, and the rest don't need to follow suit.
Yeah. So what's the latest on the Breonna Taylor case, Mel?
So they passed Breonna's law, which means that no-knock warrants are now illegal in Louisville, but 3 months later, still no arrests. And I know Beyonce issued a statement today. I know she didn't write it, but she issued a statement in support of charging the officers. So you know it's shit's hitting the fan when Beyonce is getting involved, because she says nothing most of the time. I think she made the first statement for George Floyd. And I think that was because he's from Houston and it was just a national outcry. So she was like, I gotta say something. And I'm pretty sure she obviously sympathized, but I mean, typically her and Jay-Z are pretty silent in these matters. You know, didn't he say something about to Colin Kaepernick about we can't take knees, we need to, you know, because he was
I think he's very active. He's very active. He says something on every incident. I think his
a lot of it's behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I think also
and I appreciate that, because I think sometimes we put too many expectations on celebrities to make statements, and that's not their lane. So if they're able to give money to causes that are fighting on the front lines to end racism in America, I think that's great. And I think it's a good idea to not always, you know, to do stuff behind the scenes, as opposed to like people like Kim Kardashian, who's doing great work getting people out, but like the two Black attorneys that are doing all the actual work to get these prisoners out are not getting the attention. But, you know, so I mean, this country is so backwards as far as giving celebrities this platform and thinking that they're these social change agents, and she's just like, she got famous from doing a sex video. So it's like, you know, I don't think that we should give them such a huge platform. But the warrant was not even valid. There were no packages. There were no drug packages sent to the house. They were like Amazon. They were Amazon packages. Also, the warrant, if you're going to approve a no-knock warrant, you have to particularly specify who in the house is so dangerous. And you can't just say all of the members of the house. You have to specify who they are and why they are dangerous. So that would include a criminal background listing, you know, any kind of violent crime. So, because if they've just been, she had an arrest for shoplifting in 2012. And I'm just like, I hate that when they just tell you what they did 8 years ago when they were a teenager, like it matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
That she deserved to die, that she was and I think that shoplifting was eventually dismissed or thrown out. So it's like, why, when someone is killed by the police, that they have to bring up their alleged criminal background when that has nothing to do? And so they brought in her boyfriend for, aggravated assault for shooting the police officer, but they were in plain clothes. He had no idea.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He thought someone was breaking his home. But it was interesting.
The warrant was not valid. The warrant was not valid. There were no drug packages sent to the house. They even asked the postal inspector. The postal inspector was like, I didn't tell them that. So the detective lied on the warrant. So the warrant was illegal. It was an illegal search. And no knock warrants in this case were not. And I believe they already had the person in custody who they were looking for.
Yeah, they already had the person in custody.
They already had him in custody. Yeah. So, obviously there will be a civil suit as there is in all of these cases, and Ben Crump or, one of the other attorneys, one of our friends, Justin Miller or Chris Stewart or whoever's handling these cases, and or Lee Merritt. There is now a cottage legal industry of representing the families of Black men and women who have been killed by the police. It's now like its own practice.
Yeah.
Like it's literally, and it's like, it sickens me. But I haven't heard any word of charges yet. But what were we gonna say, Steve?
Yeah, no, I agree. But it was when you were talking about once someone is killed, they bring up their past or they, dehumanize them. Rayshard, his boss, was interviewed today on CNN, and he'd only been working there for a month, but she said that he was very loved and he was a dedicated worker. They said that when he moved into his place and furnished it, he helped furnish another employee who was a single mother who couldn't afford it. And she said, I want to make sure that we tell the real stories of who these people were, and because on the news sometimes they're misrepresented.
That's a shame that you even have to do that.
Yeah.
None of that should even matter. The fact that he was loved, and what if he wasn't? He still didn't deserve to be killed.
Right.
Exactly. The fact that we have to come up with these stories to justify who we are so that we're not criminalized is ridiculous. And just to go back to the Breonna case, I think that it's kind of, this is just what I've been noticing. I think that when a Black woman is killed, she doesn't get as much attention and support. I think because when a Black man is killed, Black women are at the front line supporting and leading the cause and leading the way for justice for them. But I do not feel the same passion from Black men. I'm going to plead on here that we need your support. We need to feel safe. We need to feel protected. We need to feel like you guys have our backs as much as we have yours. I do not feel that much support when a Black woman is killed from the Black community, from the Black male community, as far as requesting justice for that person. I think the same passion that we do for Black men who are killed, we need to focus on that for Black women who are killed as well.
Most definitely. Well, let's switch gears real quick before we go. So yesterday was 45's birthday. He turned 74 years old. But people took to social media and decided to make it Obama Day. And so they posted pictures of him with the hashtag Obama Day, Obama Appreciation Day, Obama Day USA, and all birthdays matter. Celebrities did it. I saw Mariah Carey post a picture of her and Michelle Obama and President Obama. It was just, for me, it was kind of funny. They said, obviously, usually Obama, he takes the high road. He doesn't get petty with it. And Trump surprisingly hasn't said anything. He said doing his first rally, by the way, in Tulsa, where we had Black Wall Street and it was destroyed. He was going to do it on Juneteenth, but he has now since changed that to Saturday. That man is a petty somebody. What do you thought? But one thing that good has come through all this, I'm seeing a lot of things mainstream when it comes to Juneteenth and things that impact the Black community. I think that is awesome. That these people that are being murdered is not done, without something positive coming from it. Mel, you have any final thoughts?
I just wish I could stop waking up every day like Groundhog Day and turning on the news and seeing another unarmed Black man or woman unjustifiably killed by the police. And I just hope that this brings about significant change. We didn't talk about qualified immunity. I know you all probably heard about that. It's because you can't sue the police individually. And today the Supreme Court just ruled that they're not going to take up a case where that's an issue. So qualified immunity will remain, and the taxpayers will be paying out, will be responsible for paying out these millions of dollars in settlements to these families of these victims who continue to be unjustifiably killed by the police. And I don't know if you all talked about this, but they did a bond hearing for the McMichaels who murdered Ahmaud Arbery. There's videos showing that one of them called him a nigger.
Yeah, after they shot him. No,
so that is a hate crime.
Effing nigger.
That's a hate crime. Georgia
after he stood over his body, his dead body.
So if you can't show intent to discriminate or intent, to violate someone's rights because of the color of their skin after he stood over his dead body and called him an effing nigger, I don't know what a hate crime is. But Georgia does not have a state law hate crime statute, but the federal government does. But again, when you have a president and an attorney general that are Republicans and racist, I don't know if the hate crime will be charged, but I hope it is. I hope it is. So that's why it's very important for everybody to vote. I saw all you all with your Georgia Peach stickers showing that you voted, stood in line for hours. The Republicans can only win by cheating. Yeah, that's the best way they can win. Yeah. They don't want us to be able to mail in our ballots. Like in California, I can mail mine in because since we have a Democratic governor, like that's, most of the states with Democratic governors, you can mail in your ballots. So because the people that are voting are old and sick. So like they don't want to have to go and vote in person. But it's very important because once Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies, there will be a 6-3 conservative majority if he gets to pick one more Supreme Court justice. Yeah. Okay. He already has 5. So, I mean, those are lifetime appointments. So these are people making decisions that will affect not only us, but our children, our children's children for generations to come. We're still feeling the effects of, for instance, like Roe versus Wade and them trying to take back the abortion rights after that case was decided 40 years ago. So, I mean, once this law is made, it's hard to change it. So once you have it's unfortunate that we're in Georgia, they tried so hard still to vote and so hard to, suppress the vote because that's the only way they can win is by cheating. Yeah. So well, I hope that everybody continues to fight the good fight. For my mental health, I've been traveling. And because everywhere is different. Vegas is different. Dallas is different. Well, Texas, they didn't care, and Vegas is right behind it. So, but I just think that, like you all were speaking about earlier, if we all keep our immune systems up, that we will be healthy and continue, because we can't continue to live in fear. Yeah.
I think everyone just has to be safe and be smart. Mel, thank you as always for joining us and giving us your insight. Ms. Parker, Nair, have a great week. Cheeky, I'll see you in movie reviews. Well, actually, Ms. Parker, I will see you in Mental Health Mondays, but right back after this.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guest is super talented. She recently released her buzz single, Act Out, which is getting great rave reviews. She's releasing another single later on this summer off her highly anticipated album, Mood Ring. Please help me welcome the talented Porcelan. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. Staying positive during this time and just still working. I mean, I don't know if the work really stops for artists, but
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was gonna ask you, how's quarantine going for you?
So far, it has its ups and its downs. Like getting my nails done and stuff like that. My feet and everything. But as far as like me getting that time to really focus on my writing, focus on adding maybe to my album, doing stuff that are, you know, organizing things that I should have organized a year ago.
Right,
that
exactly.
I'm finding
Exactly.
that I'm like, I probably can do that now. But you know, it's just really,
Right.
you know, it's been an opportunity for me to kind of really get into some hobbies. You know,
Yeah.
I think like when we finally start back up, because I was doing my meal preps before, but then I got in the studio and I stopped doing it because when you're working on music or
It's hard
just
to keep
me
up.
in general, diet and all that just go
Right. We worry about that when it's time to promote.
right, let's go out the window. So
Right.
like now I'm finally back cooking and back eating healthy. So it feels good to kind of get back in the routine. I needed to slow down to.
Yeah, exactly. How do you think things will be different for you after quarantine? I know we don't know really what to expect, but how do you think for you personally?
I think being a lot more cautious is one thing that's going to impact me, because beforehand I was really, you know, as artists, you don't really think about how many people hand you shake, how many people you're around. We're always around people. So
exactly.
I'm like, hey, give me the elbow.
Right, the elbow. Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
I think the fortunate. Go ahead.
No, you were saying something. I was just saying, like, it just kind of, it pushes you to be more creative.
Yeah.
So it's like my memory, that muscle memory is gonna kick in. I'm gonna be like, come up with better ways and cooler ways to be creative, because during this time, it just kind of, it made you kind of kick into another gear, because you have to, as an artist, you have to evolve. Like if this is the new reality for artists, and we're doing online shows and raising money, and you have to come up with a set, it just makes you conscious on a whole nother level. So I'm
most definitely
happy. Yeah, you know, I see the silver lining in this kind of preparing you for the possibility of things not going back the same, you know, and it prepares you to think on your toes when it's necessary. So it just, you know, put me on another level of consciousness.
But then the fortunate thing about it all with, you know, obviously the new single Act Out is out, the Buzz single Act Out. But aren't you fortunate that with technology, you're able to still promote it? Can you talk about that?
I know. Like I was telling my team, I was like, you know what? I feel like I could be an artist and live like on another planet. Like just so because of the internet now, right?
Yeah.
It's like
it's changed the game.
Right. It's just crazy. Like you could really do shows and still have a career and never really see anybody.
Yep.
It's wild. So it's like with the and two, what I'm loving about the technology piece, which I actually had the opportunity to be a part of, was I did something with YouTube, and
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Can
you talk about that? Can you talk about what you did and how it went? I'm sorry. Can you talk about what you did and how it worked for you?
Well, with YouTube, it kind of just fell in my lap, to be honest. Someone on my team kind of helped coordinate it, and then we kind of jumped on board with it. They chose me to do it, and they wanted to test out this new technology for independent artists to make more money. Yeah. And I was all it because I'm like, oh shoot, you know, this gonna help independent artists make more money. You know, we're gonna, you know, be able to feed our families during this time. So I'm all for it because that's a major platform to be a part of.
Huge, yeah.
So, you know, I was blessed to do it. We had like a short amount of time because it really was, they wanted to hurry up and start testing it. So I had about 3 days, promoted it, did like a whole club move, setup vibe, and just really. I saw it. Thank you. Yeah. I was trying.
It was good. It was really good. And the fans are loving it.
You know what? And they really did. And it was like for me, that was like, okay, if I would have had the time to really, really implement what I wanted in those little pieces, it just would have been on another level. But I'm just happy that I was even able to do that at a short time. And I'm all for, the new platform building, artists as far as helping them financially and donating. And it gives your fans the opportunity to engage and donate money if they want to. So, somebody was sending like $100 and I'm like,
thank you. Look, thank you.
Yeah, it was really dope. Cause I'm like,
that is dope.
And by the end of the show, I was up. I said, how many times can we do this?
Exactly. Can we set this up reoccurring? Right. Well, let me ask you about, they've been doing the verses recently. Jill and Erica did theirs, and then this weekend, Luda and Nelly. So everyone wants, a lot of people want Brandy and Monica to do it. But Monica doesn't want to do it. Initially, she said she didn't want to do it because she doesn't like, she said if it's something about putting an artist against someone else, she has no interest. But if it's celebrating music, then she would do it. But she also feels that her and Brandy have been put against each other for most of their career. And so I think that's has something to do with it. And so Brandy was interviewed again about it recently, and she said that Monica just doesn't want to do it. Do you think that it's a missed opportunity for Monica? Because what I was saying on our show last night is that we haven't seen any artist that it not work out well for, other than technical difficulties, but it's been celebrating music and fans, just hearing those songs they grew up with. But do you think she has a point, or do you think it's a missed opportunity for her?
I think I can see where Monica's coming from, but I do like, as far as, the comments, but, internet is like king. You can't control what people say. People gonna say stuff just because, and then people say stuff because they know people gonna see it. They know people are gonna read it. So it's not solely about pitting artists against each other. It's about people getting publicity off of what they say. It's about people seeing their comments come through there. Like, I know somebody read that. I know somebody laughing. So people in the comments, they want to feel acknowledged as well. So it's just kind of like, you kind of have to look over that, because I was looking at, I watched the Nelly, I really watched all of them, but I watched the most recent two, the Erykah Badu and the Nelly and Ludacris one. And, they're saying some stuff about Nelly, like, what is this? What's this song? We don't know this song, but it is what it is. Maybe didn't nobody know the song. Maybe he was playing it because he liked it. And maybe he was just playing what he liked. So I think it's just about what you want to take from it, because honestly, I feel like it's a great opportunity, because a lot of records people do not remember. And it's an opportunity to not only reintroduce your music, but reintroduce your hits. I mean, it's like, dang, like, I had no idea how many records Nelly had. I was like, man, I don't even know about that. And it was like, you don't even know how many hits she got. And I'm like, because it was so long ago. And they was going hit for hit for hit. And I'm like,
hit for hit.
And then when it was over, I was kind of like, hit for hit, right? And then too, it's kind of like with women, it's just different. Like, Erykah Badu and Jill Scott made me want to get a little wine, and made me want to just sit back. I'm feeling like I'm on a show.
Exactly.
So,
well, let's talk about you, because you are an accomplished artist in your own right. Yeah. Let's talk about you, because you're an accomplished artist in your own right. I mean, Billboard chart top, excuse me, singer, songwriter, producer. You had top 14 Billboard single of Lois Lane. I mean, media based. And last year, you as an R&B artist, the most spins at radio. I mean, how do you feel for yourself? Accomplishing what you've accomplished in such short time.
I feel really, really great. It actually, the record did go up to 12.
Okay, congratulations,
It did go up to 12. That was like the last position, and it kind of stayed there for us.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that it happened because it allowed me to establish myself a bit in the industry. And, you know, I'm still building my name, but that's really, really nice that, you know, people like the record enough, even if they didn't know much about the artist, they like the record and it's about the music. They like the music enough to say, well, hey, you know, I love Lois Lane. Because sometimes I go places and people be like, I think that's Lois Lane. You know, and it really definitely gave me my own kind of place. in the I have to correct them. I have to be like, no, my name is Porcelan. Lois Lane is the song.
Porcelan.
But
right.
I mean, hey, as long as they know it, that's all I care about. They know the song. And
they know who the singer is.
It just gave me an opportunity. It's something that I love. Right. I really loved it. It just gave me a chance to really, really put myself out there and bond with women, with other women, you know. So it was really great.
Yeah. Most definitely. Let's talk about the new Buzz single, "Act Out." I heard it. Love it. Love the vibe. Tell us about the single and the inspiration behind it.
Act Out is one of those records that I think when, I can. Am I froze? Can
you're
you see
fine.
me?
You're good.
Can you hear me? Okay. Act Out.
You're good. That's
Okay. Okay, Act Out is like one of those records that I think we were all kind of going through our own kind of relationship problems or like whatever traumatic experiences, and we kind of just heard the song. My producer was working on it and we just started vibing out, and I wanted to have something real that people could connect with, people could relate to, that spoke, you know, truly from the heart. And, you know, people like to say they're in control of themselves when they fall in love with somebody and they get hurt, but they're really not. You know, love can make you do crazy things and, you know, act out. And that's why I named the song "Act Out," because I was acting out in the video.
It was definitely a dope song.
Thank you. The video was actually, I know you just asked me about the video. The video was really like just fun creating. Like, I did the treatment. I was like, you know, I want to come in with my gun. I want to kidnap them. And it was like, you trying to build fans or you trying to scare people?
Right, trying to scare them away. Right.
Like, you know, people really want to do those things, regardless of what they say. Regardless of what they actually would do, they really be like, man, if I was that type of person, I'd mess you up, I'd help you up. Like, you be thinking that. Right. So, it's my job to act it out. I mean, I have the platform to do it. I have to be creative. I'm supposed to be the person to do and say the things that the regular person can't say or the woman can't say. Like, it's just like those records, like you go into your corporate job and you have to, you know, present yourself this way. You get in the car and you put on your trap music and you like, you know, I have to be that for people.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Act Out is gonna be on your upcoming your debut album, Mood Ring.
Yes.
What can we expect?
Mood Ring is going to be it's going to be a vibe. It's definitely going to be a lot of different like dimensions of who I am as a person, who I am as an artist. Like, I'm giving you something different every time, but it's the same person, the same feel, but it's a different vibe. And it's just, it'll be a different mood. Like, I mean, it's like the ups and downs of a relationship. It's the ups and downs of what you feel emotionally when you go through things. And it's not all bad what you feel, you know. It's not like an album about just heartbreak. You know, it'll be a project about, you know, when it was going good, and then when it was and then things got messed up, and now you act like you don't know me no more. Like, what's going
Right. The ups and downs of love. The ups and downs of love.
Right. It's like, what happened? Then you start reminiscing. So it's like so many stages that we all go through in the process of any type of relationship where we have a companion or somebody we care about. And I feel like I just want to be real to that and kind of and stay within that storyline and make it real cohesive so people like it.
Well, I definitely can't wait to hear it. This comes out later on this summer, correct?
Yes, it's going to come out. The album's going to drop late summer. It was supposed to be released earlier, but, you know, maybe it's a blessing in disguise it didn't, because now I can add some more hits.
Right. Well, tell everybody, Porcelan, where we can keep up with you. I mean, you're doing big things and the best is coming your way. Where can we keep up with everything you have going on?
People can find me on my Instagram at Porcelan Music. They can find me at Porcelan Music, and then you can also go on my website, porcelanmusic.com, where they can see all the latest information on me and just in general, like what I have coming up on my website. And you can go follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Porcelan Music, all that, Porcelan Music. Yeah.
Most definitely. And there'll be a link in the bio of this video. Porcelan, I want to thank you so much for taking time out your schedule during this pandemic. I wish you nothing but success on Mood Ring. Again, Act Out is available now, so everyone go download it right now. Right, stop what you're doing, download it right now. And for more information on Porcelan, go to our website. Yes. For more information on Porcelan, go to our website, thestephennightshow.com, and we'll be right back after this.
I know. 4-6 over everything. Hannah over everything. Uto IVMG over everything.
KFX
To the world, bro. Hannah. Say it to me. Yeah. Motherfucker. Make me believe. Hannah got the best team, no. Yeah. Hannah got the best lean, no. Yeah. So you got to say it to me. Yeah. Motherfucker, make me believe. Yeah. Hannah got the best team, no. Yeah. Hannah got the best dream, no. Yeah.
Get on that next level.
So say it to me. Yeah. Nupa say he wants some more. Yeah. Kiki say he wants some more. Yeah. Fabo say he wants some more. Yeah. BZ say he wants some more. Kicking shit, I'm Sub-Zero. Yo. Cause we number one on top. You told Abby money gyro. Yeah. This ain't new, this for them pay, dude. Talking big, but they got no dream. Yeah, my ball credential come from Boo. Then I dash on to the Bossy need a I do know. Say it to me. Yeah. Mother, make me believe. Yeah. Hannah got the best team, no. Yeah. Hannah got the best lean, no. Yeah. So you got to say it to me. Yeah. Motherfucker, make me believe. Yeah. Hannah got the best team, no. Yeah. Hannah got the best dream, no. Yeah.
Get on that next level.
So say it to me. So say it to me. Yeah. These female thirsty, give them pure low key. I got the Sprite and spill the drink on me. She love on me and spill her heart on me. She say she done, I give her to the homie. She so bold, she gon' potty for free. She bet for Hannah and live dreams with me. She loco, I got a fiend on me. That red nose, we go plead for plea. She Pocahontas, I'm a chief on me. She saw the team and searched for me, homie. So coke up disease, homie. We taking flights, we going over the seas. Make me believe, make me believe, make me believe. And I got the best team on me. And I got the best lean on me. So you got to say it to me, say it to me, say it to me. Make me believe, make me believe, make me believe. And I got the best team on me. And I got the best dream on dream. So say it to me, so say it to me.
This is the sound when we making man. Wake up. Oh.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guest is a hip-hop recording artist, producer, label owner, and publisher, originally from the Bay Area, California. Please help me welcome the super talented Cap. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Definitely appreciate you taking time out your schedule. I know we're all in this quarantine, and you got the protests. How is it going for you? You're in New Mexico, right?
I'm in Albuquerque, yep, New Mexico. Yeah. Everything is going okay, man. Just stuck in this kind of proverbial lockdown, man. Things are starting to lift up, but it's slowly getting back to the norm. So
yeah. Have they started opening stuff back up there?
Slowly, they've got minimums on how many people could come in and out and blah blah blah. I'm ready for it to be over with, man.
Yeah. So what were you doing before we all went on quarantine?
Working this next album, man. It's gonna be called Part of Me. To be honest, I think a lot of people probably took that time as an advantage, but for whatever reason, man, it kind of put me back.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to be as creative as I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you why, but slowly starting to get back on. I think I got 1 or 2 songs left, and the album would be wrapped up. So
okay.
Getting back to it.
Getting back to it, right. So you're from Bay Area, California, and you started writing poetry in high school, and that's when you kind of fell in love with writing. And tell us about that.
That's correct. I think I was in diapers when I really found a love for music. I think my mom's got pictures of me, playing a toy guitar and a little piano. But it wasn't until around high school that hip hop really kind of grabbed me. And we had to do an assignment for English class. It had to be a poetry assignment. And I did the assignment thinking, whatever, it's an assignment. I'll turn it in and see what happens. Exactly. And ended up, the teacher was like, man, this is the best piece of poetry I've ever seen. Do you mind if I keep it and submit it to whatever? I don't even remember what, at the time it didn't mean anything. I was like, yeah, whatever, keep it. But several years later, I realized the value in that. I was like, wow, maybe I should own those skills and start writing. So I started writing songs. Ended up, one Sunday I was in a church session, and this guy was up there, singing and playing an instrument and blah, blah. And at the end of it, he was like, yo, I wrote this, I did this. This is all me, check me out on blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, right then and there, I think the inspiration to kind of do it on my own and produce and write and kind of make a record, that was the start of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, from there on out, it was just an evolved puzzle and labyrinth of figuring out how to do things and make music. And here I am, 6, 7 albums later, still working on it. So
most definitely.
Yeah.
So you, after high school, you went into the military. Thank you for your service, by the way. And were you still doing music while you were in the military? Were you still working on the craft?
Yeah, that was almost a means to finance the music, to be honest with you. I grew up in Southern California in a small desert town outside of Lancaster, Palmdale area. Wasn't much opportunity for me. I freestyle with my friends and played band and stuff, and went into the military really to get out of there and try to find some means of an income at the time. But that's where it really started. I met so many different people from all over the world, different cultures, different backgrounds that, east, west, north, south. Met up with a bunch of people that had the same kind of passion and drive and learned from them. They put in what they were doing. And at the time I was still trying to learn how to produce and make music. And we all just kind of came together and formed a little label called In-House Entertainment. We would do shows on the base, at the theaters and stuff, and the clubs and whatnot. And that's where it really grew and evolved. That kind of set everything into motion.
Yeah.
And became what it is today. So.
And you mentioned 7 albums. You've sold music worldwide. How's it feel to have people in Zimbabwe rocking your music?
You know, it's funny you say that because I got hit up just recently. I got an email from somebody out there saying that they produce music too, and they wanted to put me on one of their tracks. So, honestly, it's a blessing, man. I can't stress enough how much I value people out there that actually take the time to listen, give me their feedback, and truly are feeling it. You know, that's what really keeps me going. I don't got to be rich, famous, you know, on everybody's blog and on the magazine covers. It's really just those few interactions from people that reach out and say, hey, this is really cool. I like what you're doing. I'm feeling it. You want to collab? And it's like, yeah. That's the beauty of it, to be honest with you.
Most definitely. Who were your influences when you first started off? Who were some of the people that you listened to and kind of, you know, influenced you?
You know, growing up out in Cali, man, West Coast, you know, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Tupac, obviously. But I listened to a lot of, you know, Wu-Tang. I liked a lot of the East Coast rappers too, Wu-Tang, Nas. I was kind of drawn into kind of the mixture of both. And I can't say that I have just one individual person that really
combination.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that's always good.
You had Outkast, you had, you know, Twister, you had Bone Thugs, everybody. You know, it was a conglomerate of hip hop at the time. So I'm influenced by all of them, to be honest with you.
Most definitely. So tell us about this upcoming project you're working on. You said you got 2 more songs to do. What can we expect?
So it's going to be called Part of Me. It's going to be a little bit more in depth, I guess. You can say that people are going to get more of a sense of Cap and what I'm going through in life and what I've been through in life. The very first album I did called Inside Out was some of that at that time. That was a decade ago. So now you're looking at a different artist, different experiences. So I'd like to give the audience some of that. I wanted to make it at least 20 tracks. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm on the last couple. Don't Talk is one of the hits that kind of is being pushed right now. I got a couple others. One called Bora Bora. It's about my honeymoon, to be honest with you. And that one's kind of more of a dance, electronic track that I really stepped out of my boundaries on. Is kind of not in the same niche, I guess you would say, same genre.
Okay.
Really feeling that one. I'm excited to put that one out. And then you got a lot of the really, really personal, kind of more emotional tracks that give you a side of me that, you know, people may not have been able to connect with over the last decade or so.
Yeah. How would you say your music has evolved for you, like, over the years? You know, obviously, as we got older, go through different life experiences, it does change. How has it evolved for you?
You know, I think initially I tried to do a lot of music that I thought people wanted to hear. You know, my peers around me, people that I was influenced by, either or working with, you know, they would kind of tell me, you know, that works, that doesn't work, or do this, don't do this. I've kind of pulled back quite a bit and have done my own thing, I guess you could say. And I don't want to say that nobody's influenced me. You know, there's different influences, but at the same time, I'm kind of doing me.
Yeah.
I try not to, honestly, when I'm working on an album, I try not to listen to anything that's out there right now because I don't want to be too influenced by what, you know, mainstream is pushing. I like to say that I try to keep up with the times, but at the same time, I don't really care.
Try to be in your own little lane. Yeah, I feel you.
As long as I'm happy with it, then the project gets put out. I don't want to make music that I think everybody wants to hear. I want to make music that I want to hear, and as long as I'm happy with it, then it gets put out. So that's where we're at.
We talked about everything starting to open up a little bit. You're performing at the Loud Music Festival in September. What can you tell us about that?
That's correct. I'm just waiting to get the times and the dates, man. I think it's September 4th through the 6th.
Yeah.
I don't know what show times are as far as how much, you know, what the set I got times are, but I'm going to have my boy Sandman out there with me, hyping it up. One of my producers who's gonna rock the stage with me. And then the following week, I'll be out here in Albuquerque at the fair, doing a show there as well. So looking forward to it.
Most definitely. I know we all can't wait to be back on the stage. I know you can't wait to kill it again.
It's time. It's time.
Well, tell everybody where they can keep up with you. Well, first of all, when's the album coming out? When do you plan on it coming out?
You know, I don't have an exact date yet, but I'm hoping by the first week of July, so summertime.
Okay, yeah, so soon. So a little summer project. Look forward to it.
Right.
Where can I keep up with you on your social media and your website?
You can get at me at Capiche Music. That's CAPISH Music. Capiche Music. At the Instagram. Cap. I think I'm the only Cap on Facebook. It's Cap the Musician. Same thing with Twitter at Capiche Music.
Cap, man, I thank you so much for taking time out your schedule. Wish you nothing but success. I can't wait to hear the new project in July.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much for having me.
Most definitely. For more information on Cap, go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com. We'll be right back after this.
By my ear it stop. I don't wanna hear it. You gon' go and get your phone blocked, babe. You don't think I deserve you. Maybe I think the same. Afraid that I might desert you, cause someone else did the same, yeah. Now the past that you had in reaction to that lead to insecurities. You can act like you had what you had, but with Cap, baby, you're secure with me. Those thoughts don't stop. I'm about to change up. Oh God, thought it would be better if we don't talk, babe.
You don't deserve me. Oh no. Delete every text, keep my ex on block. Speak at the beep, touching on missed call. Send me a heart, send it back and drop. Thought it'd be better if we don't talk.
Send that check. I ain't gonna send back. Don't stress. You could just pretend my phone's dead, babe. We'll just end up wasting time. Let's make something clear. You gon' make me lose my mind. Up here. I don't wanna be cruel, but I won't be a fool when you call me up tonight. We don't have all the tools, but we have to be cool if we wanna make it right. Let's stop. We don't gotta make this both got phones on. Thought it would be better if you don't talk, babe.
You don't deserve me. Oh no. Delete every text, keep my ex on block. Speak at the beep, touching on missed call. Send me a heart, send it back and drop. Thought it'd be better if we don't talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Bella shouted she from overseas. Valentino lingo when she talk to me. And she drippy Gucci on her feet. Yeah, she show me love when she comforts me. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, she active. I hit it, I smash it. That thing fantastic, you know. In my fast whip, 200 on dashing wall. Yeah, we going up, so you know she roll with us. Yeah. Hope you don't got a man, girl. She elite, she a hottie, I'm a fan, girl. Ooh, love that shit. Love that shit. Ooh, love that shit. Love that shit. Ooh, love that shit you do. Love that shit you do. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Love that shit you do, yeah.
Most anticipated, yeah. She on Perkins, we on Zanny, getting faded, yeah. Whoa. Still right on my mission, yeah. Act some work into them bands, turn your bitch into a fan, yeah. Ooh. Don't forget I'm trippy, yeah. I want more commas, he want more follows, yeah. For real. They don't want no drama, yeah. No. VMT the gang, and I put BBs in my chain, yeah. Ooh, love that shit. I love that shit. Ooh, love that shit. Love that shit.
Ooh, love that shit you do. Love that shit you do. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Love that shit you do. Yeah.
But I ain't no place and now I know that she likes that. Designer base products, Saffiano night bag. She wanna stay for the weekend and she might pull up in a race, but a case of the white. I've been navigating, now I'm in a I think we vibing, but it could be a phase. Though she'll get what she wants if I get what I want. Ooh, love that shit. Love that shit. Ooh, love that shit. Love that shit. Ooh, love that shit you do. Love that shit you do. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Love that shit you do. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going well, Steven. How are you guys?
Drained, but we're here.
I hear you.
How are you on the missus doing?
Good. So, it's we're still in lockdown, as you said, and you've noticed. But, by the weekend, you couldn't really tell. A lot of people out and about.
Yes.
We're still a lot of people. I don't know how it is in Atlanta or Philly, but people are. A lot of people still wearing masks here. So even when you're out and about, even you go to the restaurants, you sit down and you take off your mask to eat. But a lot of people still kind of at least complying to that. But yeah, it's we ate out a couple times this weekend. It was weird, but I guess this is what it is now.
I guess so. Well, I'll let you and Chike take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So the movie I saw this weekend was The King of Staten Island, and this is the latest from Judd Apatow, who's famous for the 40-Year-Old Version, Knocked Up, and a lot of other movies. And it follows Pete Davidson as a guy named Scott, who lives on Staten Island, and he's a high school dropout that's kind of been in a state of, I guess, arrested development ever since his father passed away being a firefighter. So his life is going nowhere. He's really doing nothing. He just kind of hangs out and smokes pot all the time. And this movie kind of triggers a lot of things that happened in his life to kind of help him move on and become a new person. So overall, it's a pretty good movie, actually. I was pretty impressed. Judd Apatow does mostly comedies, and I wouldn't even put this on the comedy angle. It definitely has its funny moments, but it's really a drama about kind of just, someone coping with, I guess, loss and not having anything to do with their lives and just how they move on. So it was a little long at parts. I think it's over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I think they could have cut out some of the side stories with like his friends and whatnot. But overall, it's a $20 rental, but recommend if you're looking for something new. And I think right now with the quality of the past few streaming weeks, this is definitely a good change. So I would definitely recommend.
So to piggyback off of Adam, I actually saw that same movie, and Judd Apatow has a way of telling a story that you can relate to with a comedic twist. If you were a fan of Trainwreck, you'd definitely be a fan of The King of Staten Island, because it's basically the same type of DNA. Pete Davidson does an awesome job, and I actually think that it was probably semi-biographical, because at the end they do show pictures of him and his father, who was a fireman.
Yeah, so Pete has an interesting history. His father that died on 9/11. He was one of the firefighters that went in and passed away. So it was semi-autobiographical because he did have a lot of depression issues. I mean, he still does, as we've seen, but he had a lot of stuff growing up that was kind of reflected in this movie. So yeah, good point. I mean, it definitely shows.
And I can't tell for certain, but it also seems as if the character may have been on the autistic spectrum slightly. I understand he has mental issues, but it just seemed like maybe he had learning disabilities as well. They didn't really dive into it, but they were talking about like his difficulty in learning, but he also excelled in art. And I know that normally falls true with people that are on the spectrum. It's just what I took from it.
Yeah. I guess I never noticed, or I didn't notice, and I don't know Pete's personal life besides what I just mentioned. But yeah, that would be a good point. And I mean, Pete does have Crohn's disease in real life as well, and the character in the movie did. So he definitely has a lot of different health issues.
Yeah, thought it was an excellent movie. Definitely worth the early rental fee, and probably one of the, as far as this year is concerned, the best movies for early release. So
it was definitely refreshing to find like a good quality movie that just came out this year. That's like, okay, wow, we're kind of getting back.
But to me, Apatow puts out pretty solid work. He's one of those artists I'm going to gravitate toward whatever he touches, because his track record was so great with me anyway. Yeah.
Yep.
And just to shout out some trivia, his daughter Maud is starring in the movie as well. And I remember first seeing all their children. Him and Leslie Mann are married, and they have 3 girls. And I forget which movie it was, but they were all in one movie together when they were really little. And it's nice to see her mature into her craft and become this great actress that she's been. So it was good to see that.
Nice.
Did you see anything else?
No. As I mentioned, even though against, I guess, better judgment, we did spend some time outside amongst the crowds with our masks. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to catch anything else.
Okay, so I saw The Five Bloods, which is the new Spike Lee release for Netflix, which stars Chadwick Boseman, Delroy Lindo, Clark Peters, and Isaiah Whitlock, and Norm Lewis and Jonathan Majors. And this film explores the story of the Vietnam War through the eyes of 5 Black soldiers. And of course, Spike does a good job in telling the story of 5 Black soldiers post-Vietnam War. And this movie is kind of like, it's a hybrid where it talks about post-war, but it's also a money heist at the same time, which is pretty interesting. Again, Spike Lee hits you with the history. He hits you with the education. He's hitting all the Spike Lee joint features that he normally features in all his movies. However, for me, the negative is that Spike Lee really isn't an action guy. He doesn't really do action movies. And there are action sequences in this film that left more to be desired for me. They just, especially, and I do believe that Spike Lee is a war buff, and he's also a fan of war films. And I think that he tried to incorporate that feel of a war film, that grainy, gritty look that old-time war films have. That just didn't work for me in watching this film. It kind of separated the action part from the drama part for me. But nevertheless, I still say it's a good movie and it's worth a watch. It's just on those instances for me, I kind of like faded out or faded away from it. But yeah, definitely recommend it. There's some gems dropped in there. There's some education. And there's a couple swipes at, that guy in the office and our government. So definitely check that out. It's on Netflix. Won't hurt you to watch it. And I'd love to hear what you thought about it. The next thing that I absorbed was not a movie. It was actually F is for Family, the series. They just released the 4th season, which stars Bill Burr, Laura Dern, Mo Collins, Justin Long, and Sam Rockwell. Of course, it's as hilarious as all the other 3 seasons. And they do a great job tackling family dynamics. And this season, Francis, the lead character, his father visits. And Francis is dealing with childhood issues surrounding his father. So they deal with father and son issues in this whole season of the show. And of course, his wife is still pregnant and she's about to give birth to their 4th child, which she actually confronts and makes a true statement that she didn't really want the child, which happens in real life. What do you do when you get pregnant and you really don't want yet another kid and having a family that's struggling? So it's dealing with real dynamics, but it's dealing with it in a funny way. Definitely check it out. Had me in stitches. If you're a fan of Family Guy, you're a fan of American Dad, you'll definitely be a fan of F is for Family. Check that out. And I need Mr. Knight for this one. Adam, you still haven't seen Insecure yet?
No, I'm very behind.
Oh, man, you have to start watching Insecure. You have to start from the beginning.
Okay.
And now that it's off, for a hiatus, I need you to catch up. So
Yeah.
then you'll be in tune with us for next year.
What's it on Hulu?
HBO.
Okay, nice.
So, Mr. Knight.
Man.
You called that. I feel like I'm related to these people. Like, I feel like they're a part of...
You do feel like it. I mean, like, that was like... Because, I was kind of... had high anxiety this weekend with everything going on. But watching that just brought me... Just for 30 minutes, it brought me... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do root for them like you know them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. So... And leading for this season, the best friends, Issa and Molly, were having issues, and they've been tennis balling back and forth with communication and trying to convey to each other how they're really feeling or not.
Yeah.
And they've been dealing with relationships issues outside of each other, to the opposite sex, and also relations to work and combining work in with all those social situations. And everything came to a head these last 3 episodes, and things were, for me, because I write as well. And shout out to Prentice Penny. He was just a guest on our show. He's a producer and a writer for Insecure. And I don't want to gloat, but to my credit, I kind of predicted where it was going to go. And I kind of tackled it from a writer's standpoint, and where could you take this show that had all these bells and whistles and different aspects? Where could you take it that maybe no one would have seen it going?
Mm-hmm.
And it went where I thought it was.
It went exactly where I said. Chike called that out. Chike said that on last week's show.
Because that's what I would do if I was writing it. That's exactly where I would take it. Let's throw this monkey wrench in the program and see.
Yeah. It was interesting. Miss Parker, she said she figured that was going to happen too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure she probably came to that from a woman's disposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Insecure, we're about to give it away. Condola, braggers. Condola. You have no idea what we're talking about, Adam, and you probably will forget by the time you start watching it.
I hope so.
Yeah. Condola is pregnant.
She's pregnant with Lawrence's baby. And this is
Lawrence and Issa are they back together? Are they seeing each other? Like, how does that work?
I think they were seeing each other and trying to figure it out, because he might be taking that job out of town.
Yeah.
But they definitely were in each other's good graces. I mean, they're back sleeping together, and
And Issa decided to not drop Nathan altogether, so he's still in the wings.
Mm-hmm.
He expressed his interest of still wanting to be in her space, with Lawrence being in the picture. So now that Lawrence dropped this bombshell, Nathan is looking pretty good right now with his illness. Like, he's looking pretty good.
That is crazy.
And the whole issue comes up, and I've been hearing a lot of discussion about it as of lately, with women, you know, you love a man, he has his first kid with another woman, is that a deal breaker?
Yeah.
So that question is looming out there in the world. Like, what do you do with that?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
tough situation.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. It's a very good show. I'm a little sad that it's off the air for the next year, being as though we didn't have it for 2 years,
right?
Because Issa's busy schedule. But from what I hear, they already started filming the 5th season, so we're definitely going to get that on time. It's just that
they start writing it. They were writing it. I don't know if they started filming yet.
No. They started filming.
Oh, they did film?
Yeah, they started filming it, and what they didn't know was what they were going to do as it relates to the coronavirus,
right? If
they were going to tap that into the situation or not.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
We'll see what happens, but definitely check out Insecure. It's a nice half-hour show. It's a nice roller coaster ride. Do not expect for more. They are very adamant. It's a half-hour show. You will not get an hour out of Insecure.
You won't get an hour. No,
you won't get an hour. Maybe, you know, like all HBO's, well, I should say all HBO shows, but most HBO shows, after its run, we may get an Insecure movie. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We could lobby for that.
Yep, most definitely.
But definitely check that out. That's the last that I have. I don't have anything else to report on.
Okay, I may be in my 30s, but there's a show, 13 Reasons Why. And I've seen season 1, season 2, and season 3. And it's about a bunch of high schoolers. And then I got an email from Netflix that season 4 was out, and I binge watched that in 2 days. That show is so good.
I have a question to ask you. Why did you preface all of that with "I'm in my 30s"? Why did you say that?
Because, because it is. I think it's age appropriate, but I'm thinking because it's about high schoolers. You know what I mean? That's why I say it.
But when Adam and I first talked about that during the first season. And we both were unanimous on the fact that is a show that everyone should watch.
Yeah, right.
Parents should watch that show with their children.
Yeah.
Discussion should happen surrounding the subject matter because it's very important.
It's
a very important show, and they don't hold any punches when it comes to certain issues.
Not at all.
I'm glad to see that they're still ticking and they're still going on because it's important.
I was trying to think what else y'all gonna do, but it was good. They had a really good storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep it. And shout out to Selena Gomez because that's her show. She produces that.
Okay.
She brought that to the forefront.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you for letting us what to spend our time and now money again on. And have a great week. We'll talk next Monday.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Right back after this.
From the moment I saw your face, ay, I knew you were the one. Your fragrance and your embrace, it took me off the edge. And then I began to chase you because of what you do. No matter how far, wherever you are, I swear I love you in a special way. You are the one for me. With you I will stay here from the start. Let's never part. You stole my heart and forever you are my love. Oh baby, you are my love. Hey, now that I have you here, I just wanna make it clear. See, you're the one I hold dear. No worries, ain't got no fears. It's everything that you do. It proves why I chose you. No matter how far, wherever you are, I swear
eyes are yours. Your eyes meet mine. It's just something so divine inside.
It's so divine. See, baby girl, it's something about you. Pass me by. See, baby, it's you. I love you in a special way. You are the one for me. I will stay from the start. Let's never part. You stole my heart, and forever you are my love. Oh, baby, you are my love. See, baby girl, it's something about you. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Janera, how's it going? I mean, this is I lost track of how many weeks we've been on quarantine, but a lot of the places are opening back
I don't even
up.
think I can count that high.
A lot of places are opening up. How you feel? Are you comfortable with things opening up?
Yes and well, I thought I was getting comfortable, but turns out that I'm not because Robbie's been paying close attention to the numbers, and so our numbers have gone up. So I'm just back in the house quarantining myself. I don't have to worry about anybody else. I'm just gonna make sure that I quarantine. You know.
Yeah, that's my whole take.
Yeah. So So basically, yes and no. I thought I was getting comfortable, but I'm not. So.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel you. Well, I know you got some great things for us. So let you take it away.
Okay. So, for those who don't realize it, Father's Day is right around the corner. It's actually Sunday. So some of these sales are going to be, I guess, savings for Father's Day, and then some of them are just going to be savings. So I'll go ahead and get started. This is not for Father's Day, but this sale right here is for Victoria's Secret. They're having a semi-annual sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 40 to 70% off of thousands of items. I think I saw over 2,000 items that they have that they have on sale for their semi-annual sale. So you can shop there now, and plus they're also giving you free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. Neiman Marcus Last Call is having a sale online only. I don't think that all of their stores have reopened. Of course, you know, there are a lot of stores that are starting to reopen, but there are also a lot of stores that are still closed. They're not trusting anything at this point. So they're still offering online savings. And so Neiman Marcus Last Call is one of those stores. And if you shop there now, you can get up to 75% off of tons of designer brands. Nordstrom is doing something that they hardly ever do. They're giving an additional percentage off of their markdowns. So if you shop there now, you can get an extra 25% off of all of their clearance items. Off of select clearance items. New York & Company, they are having a good sale. If you shop there now, you can get 30 to 40% off of all new arrivals, and this is an online-only sale. Plus, you can get an additional $30 off of every $75 you spend, or an additional $70 off of every $150 you spend. So they are basically trying to capitalize on, because I don't think they've opened up their stores yet. And please somebody write in if they have, but I believe that they're still closed in all, if not several places. So they're doing a lot of online deals. Express is having a sale. Well, actually, I'm sorry, let me take that back. Express is they're supporting Feeding America. And what they're doing is they are, I don't know if you guys know who Olivia Coppola is, but she's a actress / model. Well, she's designing tees and masks. So if for every mask and tee that you design that you purchase that's been designed by Olivia, they are going to donate $10 to Feeding America, which is great.
Yeah.
So that's at Express. Bloomingdale's is having a friends and family sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 30% off of select items. Plus, you can get up to 50% off of select swim items.
Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy are giving an extra 40% off of everything. And then they're going to give you an extra 10% on that. So that's everything in the store off of your entire purchase. That's Gap, Banana, and Old Navy. Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy. Sorry about that. And outside of the Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy, Gap Factory, which is the outlet, they are giving 50% off, an extra 50% off of all their clearance items. So that's also something that you may want to think about. This is just for all of the dog lovers. I have a dog myself. It's having a sale. And if you shop there now, you can buy one, get one, 50% off of all dog treats and chews. So that's just for all of the pet lovers. I just had to throw that in there. True Religion, I'll often talk about them. They're having a sale on everything. And if you shop there now, you can get up to 70% off of everything in their store and online. And that's, of course, if their stores are open. But if not, then they're still offering those same savings online. Bath and Body Works is having a semi-annual sale. So if you shop there now, you can get up to 75% off of all of their sale items. And this is for all of the parents or people with children in their lives. The Children's Place, which I'm sure I'm going to start hitting up again very, very soon. They're having a huge sale, and this is the biggest sale that they've ever had, and this is their summer sale. But if you shop there now, you can get 60 to 80% off of everything, and that includes that also includes their clearance items. So last but not least, BCBG Max Azria is also having a sale. And if you shop there now, you can get up to 50% off of all of their sale items.
Oh, nice. I mean, it's like a lot of sales going on right now.
There are tons of sales. I think that a lot of retailers are kind of scared about what's going to happen with the economy. Yeah. They're still offering all of these great deals out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know they can find all this at jengenuine.com.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Janera. I hope you and your family are staying safe.
Okay.
And have a great week, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Right back after this.
Text you late night when you laying down. Phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. I know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah, I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you still awake. Yeah, I've been thinking about you every day. Text you late night when you laying down. Phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. Know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah, but I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you're still awake. Yeah, I've been thinking about you every day. Yeah, too late. Baby, am I too late? Yeah. Baby, am I too late? Yeah. Baby, am I too late? To touch you on your favorite place. Baby, am I too late? Tell me. Can we pick another day? Can we pick another night? Maybe on a Tuesday. Too late. Yeah. Every part of your body is like a premonition. You give me chills and goosebumps. Your beauty a killer, I tell her to do some. Yeah. Attraction for me is beyond sex. Whole nother level for me, it's beyond next. And if I'm being honest, expression affection just feels odd. You call me pet names, the pumpkin, the cutie pie, but this hot girl summer got me more icy. I can't trust no one, it's not likely. No, it's not likely. Yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Girl, I'm trying. beautiful for my soul. Let's lose our minds and our clothes. It's hard to fuck with these hoes, cause no one knows what you know. Out of body experience. Love your mind and your body, you serious. Can't even say I love you back, but I got your back. My heart is cracked, so hard for me to act on it. I get this bitch my heart before you turn her back on it. XX heart eater, she gonna snack on it. Girl turn around and let a nigga smack on it. Girl say you ain't here to pass, they smoking that crack. Cause my shorty get passenger and she gon' ride like a drive-by, no mask in her. I'm tryna fuck till you cry up your mascara. I want your beauty and your beast, I want the whole thing, every single last piece. I don't wanna keep you home, but I don't want you sleep alone. I don't wanna eat alone when I bring a friend along. Text you late night when you laying down. Phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. I know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah. I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you still awake. Yeah. I've been thinking about you every day. Text you late night when you laying down. The phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. I know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah. But I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you're still awake. Yeah. I've been thinking about you every day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Too late, too late. Baby, am I too late? Yeah. Baby, am I too late? Yeah, yeah.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Now it's time for Mental Health Mondays with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, go ahead and take it away.
Happy Monday, everyone. Wanted to just check in with you guys and see how you're doing. I know during these times, you all may be feeling a feeling of helplessness. I wanted to touch on that because I've posted a few things about things that we can do to not only help ourselves, but also things that we can do to help make changes in the community. I think that's very important. I think the feeling of helplessness also plays a big part in our mental health. When things like this is happening and you feel like there's nothing you can do, that also affects your mental health and your mental well-being. If you are feeling helpless during these times, I would encourage you to reach out to different organizations and different people that may be involved in several things in the community. I think that it's important to feel that you can bring something to the table. And I do want you all to know that there are things that you can do. Everyone has value. Everyone is able to bring something to the table. You may be feeling like whatever you have or whoever you are cannot make an impact, and that is not true. You can make an impact in our community. We do not have to sit around and be social media activists. We can actually get out and do things within our communities that will improve the social condition which racism has caused our community. So I would encourage you to reach out to organizations that you may see people posting about. If you're looking for one, I would encourage you to reach out to my friends and I started one. It's called the Love Project. You can follow us on Facebook, on IG, the Love Project 404, because we're in Atlanta, it's the 404, and we will be able to help you recognize where you can best be used within the community. But I wanted to touch on that because I have seen a lot of people post things that are counterproductive to the movement. And I think what it is one is a feeling of helplessness, feeling like they can't make an impact, they can't do anything to help or improve our conditions. So that energy is then transferred into negative energy, criticizing people who are helping, and also being counterproductive in some of the conversations that's being had. I think it is important that we support people who are putting their names, careers, and lives on the line to bring about social justice, bring about justice to within our community and help us progress. I think it's really important that no matter how you may feel about that person, that you find a way to support, the fact that they are making the change and they're doing something. And I think there are going to be, during these times, there are going to be people who are doers, and those doers are going to need your support. So I just wanted to reiterate the fact that be mindful where your mind is drifting during these times. This energy that's going around could be either used in a positive way, or you can use it in a way to impact your community. But if you're not going to do anything positive with it, just be mindful of maybe finding other ways to let it out, aside from maybe criticizing people who are.
Well said, Ms. Parker. And they can go to what's your Instagram? I'm sorry.
Our Healing Space.
Our Healing Space.
Our Healing Space 2020. That is the page that I have dedicated to mental health. I actually reached out to my therapist today just to say hi and see how she's doing. Because during these times, I think it's important that we reach out to people who are on the front line, and it's most certainly in our community right now, mental health workers that are Black are experiencing exactly what we're experiencing, and then they're having to suppress their own feelings and help us through it. So if you have a Black therapist, I strongly suggest that you reach out, at least touch base with them, and if you need help, make sure to book an appointment. But if you don't, just check in with them as well, because there are people as well experiencing the same thing we're experiencing.
Most definitely.
So our Healing Space 2020, and also please follow us on the Love Project 404 as well.
All right. Well, thank you as always, Ms. Parker, and we'll be right back after this.
Baby, if you only knew things that I wanted to do to you when we first met, thinking like the boys do, then you got me with my nose wide open, tables turned, now I'm the one who's overprotective. I see them looking when they pass, what I'm gonna do with all that ass. Your beauty is unmatched, I can't help it, I got it bad. I am just human, and I'm possessive, a bit jealous. So you better tell them that you are taken, there is no mistaking. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. We be dancing in the club, sipping on that Martell. Think this couple wanna go, take this to the hotel and finish. Feeling on your body, grinding on me slowly. But if we take it there, just know you're mine, and I belong to you. No matter what we do, don't ever get confused. Whoa, lose my mind if we take it too far. And I know that you're still there. I don't wanna make things too hard. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine.
that you're mine. Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine. But you're mine. But you're mine. But you're mine.
All right, now it's time to highlight our black businesses of the week. This one is for a restaurant in Atlanta. This first one is called Grass VBQ Joint, and it's a vegan restaurant, but it's black owned. Check it out. They are 100% vegan, and they have this picture. Let me see if you can see it. Food looks really good. I'm not vegan, but I would definitely try it out. So check them out. Then our last business that we want to highlight. Let me get to it. Excuse me. This is for the ladies. This is called Laura Taylor Style. She owns her own clothing line. So definitely check her out. Beautiful woman doing beautiful things. I think I see one more I want to highlight real quick. This guy, he was laid off after being fired. He is a black chocolate creator. He owns his own chocolate company and raises over $100,000 in investments for his company. The company's called, this is black-owned chocolate company. But we'll have links in our, it's called Threesome Chocolates. We'll have the links in our bio. But check out those businesses. If you have a black-owned business you want to highlight, please email us at submissions@StephenKnightShow.com. Listen, that's our show. Shout out to Porcelan and to Cap for joining us tonight. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, to like our content, and we'll be back next week. Have a good one. Stay safe and wash your hands. Right back after. Good night.
Tonight it's all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, and we gon' dance. And when we get there,